Welcome back to Tipsy Gamers. Today we will be unboxing the Hot Toys Death Trooper and comparing it to the Hasbro Black Series Death Trooper. Now we've included a couple other pieces just to give you a sense of the scale of this package because bloody hell it is huge. Now we do have a larger box to unbox in a later video which just blew my mind, but we will get to that one later. For now, let's just look at this packaging because it is gorgeous. I love the simplicity of it. I love that orange banner around it. It really designates that this is a premium product that you're paying for, which you most certainly are at $235, which comes in at about almost 12 times what you're paying for the Black Series figure. So is it really that much better? Or did I just make a colossal mistake? Only time will tell. Now, I do have the Black Series box with Death Trooper somewhere, but I didn't bother finding it. So we have the AT-ACT Trooper. So this is a 2005 Saga Collection Stormtrooper from the 3.75-inch line, and you can tell it's extremely smaller. But anyways, let's just open the Hot Toys box. Okay, this piece of art is gorgeous. This alone is such a wonderful piece. Like, I love the addition. I love the Star Wars line that has this piece of art before you open the figure. It just makes you that much more excited to just rip it off, but carefully of course, and see what's underneath. And bloody hell was that worth it. Bloody hell, that's gorgeous. I mean, look at the shine on that. Well, okay, you guys can't because of the clamshell, but don't worry, I'll get that off. And look at this. Look at how fierce that green is. And that E11D on the left side, oh my gosh, that looks great. Okay, I'm already going to say I think it might be worth its price point. I mean, the detail is just second to none. Yep, I'm in love with this. And it almost seems like something completely different than the Black Series figure. It just is that much better. I think one of the key differences on this though is that this is from the Mandalorian, so it has a little bit of dirt on it. So some of those lines on the Death Trooper actually have brown in it to designate dirt that's been stuck in the grooves. But what it does is it really accentuates the design so much more than just a regular completely clean black would have. And I think that really helps this figure stand out from the Black Series one. And also from the Rogue One Death Trooper from Hot Toys as well. I saw one YouTuber review this figure and the Rogue One style, and they said they prefer this one, understandably so. Now what I just lifted off right here, this is for the battery compartment in order to light up the flashlight and the mandibles. But I'm not going to bother with that because, well, I just don't want to. But this E11D blaster rifle is absolutely stunning. I mean, the heat treatment on the barrel looks so realistic. And oh bloody hell, the Black Series one doesn't even compare. It just looks like a drab gray piece of cheap plastic. It's horrid. Now this is the SE14R repeating blaster pistol. And this thing looks really great. It even has black paint on the scope that kind of looks like an actual scope. And then the Black Series one, which is also just a drab shade of gray that just looks bloody horrid. I mean, I thought in 2016 it looked kind of good, but yeah, no, it looks awful. And now here's the display base for the Death Trooper, and I actually really do like this one. We will do another video on the Durasteel Mandalorian and show that base, but I do prefer this one over the kind of sandy style. I like it flat. I think it really shows off the figure really well, and it has a slight imperial architecture to it. But let's get all this other random stuff out of the way so we can actually focus on the figure. And here he is. I mean, those eyes are piercing, and it's just so incredibly shiny. Like, this is just an incredible figure. I'm already gonna say this is well worth its price point. And look at the boots. I mean, look at the detail on that. I mean, they really didn't need to go through all that work on the boots. Like, for the most part, you're never gonna see them. And all these wrist gauntlets are just look so incredible. I love all the dirt just around everything. I know I've already said it, it just is that stunning. I mean, this is my favorite design out of Star Wars, actually. I love Death Troopers. Rogue One in particular is one of my favorite films just because of the incredible designs of some of the Imperial Troopers. Now here's the Black Series figure. Now it is approximately twice the size of the Black Series figure, so the Black Series is around a 1/12 scale, so it is relatively accurate. Now I did bring him outside just to show you guys how he looks in direct sunlight. I mean, don't store it in direct sunlight by any means, but it really looks nice. I mean, you could really bring this thing outside and do some photography with this and make it look like, you know, there's an actual Death Trooper trying to knock down your door, which is both awesome and bloody terrifying. Now my dog did sniff the trooper, and you can already tell that it definitely got a little smudged. So definitely wear gloves and be prepared to clean if you take pictures of your dog and the trooper. Now I did put the hand on before I put the blaster rifle on the figure, because it's just so much easier. I mean, especially on troopers, these hands are prone to falling off if you move them around too much, which is fine. I mean, they're easy to put back on. But yeah, trying to get a blaster on the actual figure while the hand is on it would be a nightmare. Now this is actually my third Hot Toys figure, and that is why I'm a little bit more confident taking off the hand. Then it just snaps right back on as such. And I'm having difficulty. That gauntlet is difficult to deal with. But I mean, eventually I'll get it. Now it's time to actually try to pose him a little. Now he has a lot of articulation, but he does have a rubber undersuit which will be prone to creasing. But like, for me personally, I probably will keep him in these 1 or 2 poses, so it's whatever. And that is one advantage the Black Series does have, is that because it has the very visible joints, you aren't going to have any creasing since, well, it's all plastic. But this just looks so bloody incredible. I mean, does it even matter? Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but the stock on the E11D actually does move on the Hot Toys version of it. So you can bring it out a little bit depending on how you want your pose to be. Now I'm just kind of trying to move him around a little just to kind of make it look like he's more realistic and not just some stagnant museum piece. But bloody hell, this looks great. I mean, I'm so happy with this. I can't wait to display this. Okay, and as you can see, he can stand up without his base. I'm just too paranoid to keep him like that. And there goes the hand. Told you it was easy to come off. And yeah, it's... Ugh. I don't need to show that to you. No need to waste your time with that. Okay, here we are again. Now, I just love the detail on this. Like, I can't get over how good this looks, especially that E11D. That blaster rifle alone is almost worth the price of the figure. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite blaster rifles as well. Okay, I just love everything about the Death Trooper. Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie. It's either that or Empire. But I think it's Rogue One, actually. Especially that space battle, just absolutely incredible. Anyways, we're talking about The Mandalorian, which, again, I also love The Mandalorian. How could you not? Now, I also do have a credit collection Black Series Death Trooper, and now this is actually based off art of the show, but we will get back to that later. For now, let's look at the Black Series Death Trooper, which it looks pretty good. It looks decent. This is a 2016 figure. They came out with Rogue One. The blaster rifle and the SE-14R look just bloody awful. It has a good amount of articulation. I mean, it's relatively shiny. The green paint isn't super noticeable, but in certain lighting conditions it is. I mean, it overall looks pretty good. I mean, I think it's one of those figures that could definitely benefit from a new mold, since Hasbro has done some great things, especially with their new Stormtrooper from The Mandalorian. It looks significantly better than their older model, so I wish they would update this one as well. I mean, it has plenty of articulation, has as much articulation as you would expect out of the Black Series, and it's pretty well detailed. I mean, it's not really lacking any detail. The rubber undersuit looks fine. I mean, it has the proper lines. And then compared to the Hot Toys one, though, you can just see how that dirt actually brings out so much more detail in the figure. I mean, if we were comparing just a clean black Death Trooper from Hot Toys to the Black Series one, the difference wouldn't be so profound. And here they are in similar poses, and you can see that the Hot Toys one just completely dominates any space he's in. I mean, he just looks so incredible. It's really that blaster rifle that makes him look so great, and I think that's really to the detriment of the Black Series version. Now here is the credit collection. You can see that the E11D on here is actually slightly different. The red is painted in different places, and the credit collection one has a little bit of red at the end of the barrel to match the artwork, which also is a little bit more accurate to the blaster itself. And now let's actually compare them a little bit more. We can see that this actually is in the wrong place on the Black Series figure. That red just is not where it should be colored. And now that's just it's one of the only details on the blaster rifle, and they got it wrong. Like, it's a little annoying. But on the credit collection, they did get it right. It does have the proper shade of red. So I'm hopeful that the new Archive Series Black Series Death Trooper will have the proper paint job, but I don't know, because from these images, it doesn't show us. So we're gonna have to wait until that comes out in a month or two to figure that out. Now here they are side by side. To the right is mine, which for some reason was picking up a lot of blue and green, but you can tell it's the same mold. Like, it's exactly the same. They all look pretty good. It's just the Hot Toys one obviously looks significantly better. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at this credit collection Death Trooper because it does have a very unique paint job, especially compared to both the Hot Toys and Black Series version. So of course it has Imperial credit up top, and it has that purple and all the dirt on it, and it's just such an interesting figure. Of course it matches that piece of concept art from The Mandalorian, but it's so amazing just to look at. It's such a nice display piece. I would really recommend that over the standard Black Series Death Trooper just because of how unique it is. I mean, that purple and the dirt on that is just so striking. But the SC-14R still looks terrible. That didn't change. The 11D looks slightly better, but really it's the Death Trooper that looks more interesting, because it's not going to be able to compete with the realism of the Hot Toys one, so it needs to do something, well, its own. So I really placed these in the order of which I like them, which is the Hot Toys one is definitely the best. The Credit Collection one is really interesting, so I'm going to list that one as second, and then the standard Black Series Death Trooper at number 3. Now here's a close-up of that blaster rifle. Look at that color grading. It looks so nice. Every detail on that rifle is just exquisite. Now the Death Trooper itself actually was designed to kind of look more like a skull, and that's part of what makes it look so imposing. Now, as a little bonus, here is the Black Series Archive Collection Grand Admiral Thrawn, which does look really nice next to the Black Series Death Troopers, but I also want to give you a sense of a comparison in the scale of the Hot Toys Death Trooper compared to the Archive Series packaging. So if you get an Archive Series Death Trooper, let's say you were just to keep him in the box, and you also get a Hot Toys one, this is going to be your size differential. Grand Admiral Thrawn actually looks really good. I really enjoy it, but I gotta say, I hope they make a Hot Toys version of him. And now thank you so much for taking the time to watch Tipsy Gamers today, and be sure to join us again for another great video. Have a nice day.